Welcome back to our channel Best to Watch. Today we are here to talk about the top 10 sexy movie villains. But before we get started, subscribe to our channel to never miss any updates. So without any further delay, let's get started quickly. The Dark Knight 2007. With the help of Assistant Police Officer Gordon, played by Gary Oldman, and District Attorney Dent, Batman, played by Christian Bale, is working to eradicate crime in the city. But with the rise of a criminal who calls himself the Joker, played by Heath Ledger, Gotham City is once again in turmoil. The Joker is Batman's strongest enemy. To bury this new threat, he'll have to use all his tech weapons and clash with everything he believes in. Christian Bale dressed as Batman again and teams up with director Christopher Nolan to fight a new evil. Brain, battles, traps, and swords are carefully included in the game, and is not just a collision of power and power. The story and characters are well crafted and very interesting. Villain, the Joker, played by Heath Ledger. Batman's greatest enemy, the Joker, was played by several great actors in the past. It is no exaggeration to say that the Joker of this work is the greatest villain in history. The reason is Heath Ledger's perfect acting ability. Heath Ledger stayed in the hotel for 6 weeks to concentrate on making roles. As a result of losing contact with the outside world, becoming a psychopath, and devoting himself to acting practice, the greatest villain in history was completed. Inglourious Basterds 2009. France was under Nazi occupation. Shoshana, played by Melanie Laurent, a girl whose family has been killed, hides her identity as the theater manager, and pursues a grand revenge plan to eradicate the Nazis. At the same time, special forces of Jewish American soldiers, led by LT Aldo Ryan, played by Brad Pitt, was killing the Nazis one after another. Called Busters for their cruel tactics, they fear they will take part in a top-secret mission to overthrow the Nazis with a British spy impersonating a German actress. Shoshana is pursuing a careful revenge plan, and Busters, who cleans up the Nazis from the ground up. Each strategy intersects at the premiere screening of a Nazi propaganda movie that invited Hitler to be held at the theater. Directed by Quentin Tarantino, known for Pulp Fiction, Brad Pitt plays the role of lieutenant in charge of the rogue army. The merciless and very scary man is humorous, and the cruel but unhateable characters are fascinating and very interesting. Villain, Colonel Hans Landa, played by Christoph Waltz. Hans Landa is a Nazi German guard officer with a brutal, ruthless, and genius mind. With a gentlemanly attitude, the scene where you can detect a lie while carefully tasting the fear of the other party is powerful. Christoph Waltz won the Cannes Actor Award and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for this performance. He says he was the best character he has ever played. No Country for Old Men 2007. Vietnam veteran Moss, played by Josh Brolin, accidentally found a large amount of heroin and a large sum of $2 million while hunting. The moment he takes away the money, the gear of his destiny begins to go crazy. Moss escapes from a mysterious hitman, Cigar, played by Javier Bardem, who relentlessly pursues while involving the elderly Sheriff Bell, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and the police who believe in law and justice. Can Moss escape? Can Bell save the endangered Moss? And can Cigars shoot Moss? The thoughts and self-confidence of the three men are intertwined, and it will reach an unexpected climax. A dramatic crime thriller released by the genius Coen brothers in the town of Texas in the western United States. Villain, Anton Chigurh, played by Javier Bardem. Anton Chigurh, a grim reaper-like hitman who sneaks up quietly. The visual impact of the bob-headed hairstyle and the favorite weapon, the cattle gun, AR gun for slaughter, is enormous, and it is still handed down as a villainous hitman in movie history. Nightcrawler 2014. Lou, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who had no educational background or connections, passed by the accident site one day and sold a miserable image to a TV station to earn money. After getting a video camera, Lou waits for an incident or accident while intercepting the police radio, drives the car at a tremendous speed, and rushes to the scene. His radical footage, which doesn't feel like a remorse for a second, sells well, but the station's demands continue to escalate. And finally, Lou crosses the line. The madness of the hero is transmitted beyond the screen. The car auction is very cool and full of highlights. Villain, Lou Bloom, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Photographer Lou Bloom looks like a serious young man, but he has a psychopathic side that is full of narcissism and doesn't care for others. The appearance of rushing to the scene of an incident or accident and pointing the camera at the victim makes me feel an unusual feeling that my spine becomes cold. Lawless Virginia 2012. The Bondurant brothers established the legend that never die. These are real men who have made a name for themselves in the dangerous moonshine business. One day, a new special director, Lakes, arrives in Virginia and demands a large bribe. brothers who refuse at all while the surroundings obey one after another. It's a solid story with love that depicts the revenge drama of the three wild brothers, but it's a work that disappoints for better or for worse. Villain, Lakes, played by Guy Pearce. Lakes, the worst and worst cracker in front of the Bondurant brothers. Dressed in 5'5" hair, a bow tie, and a unique fashion, he will harm the people around his brother through intimidation and violence. Racism and brutal violence against black people, a villain with an outstanding presence who gets angry from the beginning to the end. The Silence of the Lambs from 1991. A series of bizarre incidents of kidnapping, killing, and peeling women. The FBI, who has stopped investigating, asked former psychiatrist and murderer Hannibal Lecter, played by Anthony Hopkins, to cooperate in the investigation. Trainee Clarice, played by Jodie Foster, who is assigned to the mission, contacts Lecter in prison. Lecter cooperates with Clarice in investigating the case, provided he tells Clarice about his past. The depth of darkness in the human mind is very scary work. It is dense and the casting is shining. Villain, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, played by Anthony Hopkins. A genius psychiatrist and a bizarre murderer. At first glance, he seems to have a calm personality because he likes music and cooking, but on the other hand, he has a brutal and ferocious side that threatens. You can easily control people's minds with their brains and even play with their weaknesses as a way to kill time. The scene of eating brain miso is famous. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, 2011. Harry, Ron, and Hermione smash the third spirit box while escaping the familiar Hogwarts and escaping the pursuit of Lord Voldemort and the Death Eaters. In order to help them and reward Dobby, who lost his life, the three infiltrate the underground bank Gringotts, where the fourth spirit box is hidden. However, found by the goblins who protect the impregnable bank, Harry and others are cornered deep underground. It is a work suitable for the grand finale that darkens the tone of the previous work and suppresses the tension and probably explodes the frustration. Villain, Lord Voldemort, played by Ralph Fiennes. A dark wizard and a nemesis of the main character Harry. He has a radical dominance ideology and can calmly carry out ruthless acts such as killing his own subordinates. Also, in addition to the enormous magical power, he had the brains that are said to be the best talents, and no one could win the brain battle. Hannibal Rising, 2006. In 1952 Lithuania, Hannibal Lecter, played by Gaspard Ulliel, who died in the war and lost some of his memories and words, is taken to an orphanage in the Soviet Union. One night, he attempts a jailbreak and escapes to Paris, where his only blood-related uncle is. There, Lecter fulfills a fateful encounter with a beautiful Japanese woman. Dr. Lecter is a genius psychiatrist who has two faces, a ruthless murderer. How was his peculiar personality shaped? Did the devil possess it, or did he just awaken the sleeping devil? The process of the birth of a bizarre murderer is shockingly depicted, making it a work that adds to the depth of the series. Villain, Hannibal Lecter, played by Gaspard Ulliel. Hannibal Lecter, an adolescent whose heart is broken due to his childhood experience, Gaspard Ulliel, who captivated women all over the world with his delicate looks, was transformed into a ruthless murderer. Lecter takes revenge on the humans who ate his sister. It depicts how he became cannibalistic and Hannibal. Ghostbusters 2018. New York, Aaron Gilbert, played by Kristen Wiig, PhD, is a particle physicist at Columbia University, was the first in the world to do research to scientifically prove psychic phenomena. However, the university's side unitarily cut off the research expenses and she got fired. In order to make the best use of that knowledge and technical ability, she started a company, Ghostbusters, that carries out ghost extermination. The breadth of the three main characters is perfect and exquisite humor is born. Moreover, the enemy's ghost is also unique and humorous, so it is completed as a comedy. Villain, Rowan North. The evil spirit Rowan North, who became the new boss of the series. Before becoming a demon, he was a boiler engineer at a hotel, but he was found by the Ghostbusters while developing a device to collect demons and died. It was revived in a big size that exceeds even skyscrapers and stood in front of the Ghostbusters. Star Wars Episode 4: New Hope in 1977. A galaxy far, far away where the battle between the Galactic Empire and the Rebel Alliance was fought. On the desert planet Tatooine, a young farmer, Luke Skywalker, meets the legendary Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi and decides to join the Rebel battle. In order to rescue Princess Leia, who was captured by the Imperial Army, Luke embarks on a battle guided by fate. Villain, Darth Vader, played by David Prowse. Darth Vader, a top-class villain in science fiction movies, has an overwhelming presence. In his youth, he was considered to be the owner of the strongest Force as the balancer of the Force in the Jedi prophecy, but in order to save his wife who was destined to die, he fell into the dark side and became Darth Vader. One of the reasons for his popularity is the human character who finally dies to save his son. That was all about it, and on that note, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit like and subscribe to our channel Best to Watch. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.